And it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions. Welcome back, everybody. Elite here. We are loading in just now, and we're having, I think, 16 drivers lining up today. 15 from Elite and Kingsman getting ready to hold some more drivers off in this race here.
Whether it has to be as drastic as a 9-second gap, I can't imagine it'll be the case, because I don't think there's maybe as much on the line for himself and his team in in the Elite League, where he's been doing relatively well, to be honest, in terms of standings in the Elite League, but it's not where his trade usually is, if that's a way to put it. But for being a reserve driver and currently sitting P10 in the standings out of 25 drivers, says a lot.
Yeah, he has had some good performances in Elite recently. Jimsky also informing us just now that it's gonna be a rainy race.
Oh no.
Do you want to elaborate whether it's changing conditions or full rain, Jimsky? Because changing conditions I'd enjoy a lot, but full rain is kinda like... You can't overtake... Oh, changing conditions. What an absolute banger. I'm looking forward to this. That's interesting now with his setup choices as well, because you can of course favor setups that are like more downforce heavy, so you will do better when it's wet. But of course, well, more top speed is gonna favor you, of course, on the straight when it comes to overtaking, which is probably, I think, like, top speed is not good lap time wise, but it's probably the best choice racing wise. Because that's where it's at here, like 3 DRS zones. I don't know, you just have to not lose a second in the turns, and that should be doable.
It leaves very different, possibilities for strategies, I think is the best way to go about it, in terms of tyres. Obviously, we'll see when people then decide to pit for inters, or if we'll start inters and then end up on slick tyres as the race goes on. Again, as you're saying, Doom, the potential for different setups as well. Mark, which I believe is
Eric, yeah.
Eric, yeah.
We're having an easier time today run, because it's only one of the twins, yeah.
Yeah, and it's Eric this time around. Fastest Sector 1, I would have thought he would have invalidated. It seemed like he
crashed.
Corner.
I think if it's not invalidated, dude, I was on board with him, but I literally didn't pay attention. But I think he crashed, and that's that. So, yeah. Honestly, Eric was in the wall on his outlap twice already, so I'm not certain of his ability to finish the race in the end. On board with Jannemann right now, a man who has been very close to 2 race wins now in this season already, but well, has lost it once due to disconnect, and last week, I guess, through his own
time
fault.
Penalty. Yeah, it was a very, very early track limit that sort of set him back, and Siegel then finding himself on the top step of the podium, just managing to keep within that 3 seconds of Jannemann in what was an incredibly messy race. But the first lap down, a 1:10.2, so already a significant improvement on what we saw in Challenger League, but again, comes as no surprise. We may even find ourselves in the 109s, as we already have 3 110s down.
Yeah, certainly 109 is going to be delivered here by Rapid in a second. I think this is looking good. Yep.
Yeah,
109.4,
and
quite a
1094, nearly a second up on Janneman there.
yeah, it's quite a banger. Also to Kurze, I've been saying like that I expect him in the top 5 and stuff recently, but I think he has transitioned to wheel from playing as controller for his entire life. I guess very recently, I think by the start of this season, and thus still finding back to his old speed. I guess so. Yeah, we will expect him more towards the midfield and maybe, yeah, like.
But, I mean, as it stands, a 110.6 is not a bad lap. Cherry with a 110.7 there now. Just Marcel Jan and Toru, the current outliers, as Toru comes up to the line once more. He's looking to set a better lap there. He does so. It is a 2-second improvement, but still leaves him last out of all of the runners to have set a lap. It will be Jimski up to the line next, closely followed by an Alpha Tauri and Lauda, I believe. Jimski 110 flat there, and Lauda, who's invalidated his
Starting,
lap.
I think. I think
Well,
he
if
might
he's
just be
starting one,
starting.
he's just invalidated it.
Oh yeah, true. Actually, yes, this one is still red. He likely cut the last chicane, and I think the game, because you can carry so much more speed if you cut that, it invalidates the lap after immediately as well. So, yeah, Ed returning here, this time hopefully not getting disqualified in qualifying, because he is up there, currently sitting in 4th. What's going on with Seagull? He has not set a lap time yet.
Rapids. To no one's surprise, really, the outlier in terms of fastest lap in qualifying. Usually the driver to beat at this stage of the day, but again, it's whether he can do the business on track, because only one win for him so far, and that came with the fastest lap as well in Baku. And Seagull with 3 wins to his name, currently leading the elite standings with the 90 points, and Rapid 27 off of that, with just one other podium coming in Hungary, and 12 and 10 points in Monza and Australia, respectively. I believe it was Monza or was it Imola we did first?
I'm not quite sure, but like one thing
Italy,
for certain.
regardless.
Italy, yeah. And well, yeah, I think Rapid generally this season has been struck with a lot of bad luck being involved in collisions and stuff. And has thus been having a very hard time finding his way to the top step.
I mean, again, I would to touch on that. I think after some incidents, especially that he had in Australia, I would have said that. I mean, he could well have been on for a pole finish in the top step at Australia, were it not for a couple incidents that he was involved in. He's, as we know, a very, very fast driver. Quite possibly, you'd say the fastest in elite, and it's hard to put a flame to him. But he fights hard on the track as well, and whether that benefits him or not. He's got his style, and it's worth him. It's got him P2 at the moment, and we've still got over 50 to 60% of season 14 to go. So he's far from out the running here. It's just Seagull has sort of capitalized where Rapid has fallen short one way or another.
Yeah, I think so too. Seagull, I mean, of course, he has been always in the right spot so far. Wouldn't necessarily say he has been lucky, because obviously you gotta drive the pace to end up in these positions where you can profit from other drivers' mishaps or unfortunate moments.
Yes, exactly. You've got to sort of make your own luck.
Yeah, like he has been so far relatively spared with major incidents that set him back. So I don't know. By chance, I think it is likely that he's gonna have these tougher races at some point, and then we're gonna see if he can compete with Rapid once he's getting the results we expect from him.
Dylan with his lap invalidated there. The AlphaTauris, Eric and Seagull all yet to set a lap. This is Lauda on his out lap looking to start his flying. I believe yeah, he was on a flying lap. He's invalidated again, so still nothing for himself.
Well, let's see the man. Seagull here just started his first attempt. Only 8 minutes to go, so he's gonna have... Oh, I don't know if he's even gonna get 2 more attempts, honestly. It's gonna be very tight if he wants to drive 2 more, or he does it how it is, I think, possible here if you abandon your lap early enough that you drive 2 fast lap back to back. Oh, couple of DCs from the session. I'm trying to get these guys back in.
Purple first sector for Seagull anyway. Coming through the second sector. Not purple there, but still a good run at things so far. Comes through turn 11 onto the Casino Straight. Ferrari in the distance of Marcel Jan, who himself is looking to put down a quicker one. See that come across the timing screen as he moves up to P6. Seagull now up to the line, and it's a 109.9. It puts him P3 behind Hussein and Rapid, the other two that were really sort of, in Australia at very least, looked our 2 hottest runners.
Yeah, for sure. I think
the 109s.
It's been several races this season already where we have seen Hussein Rapid 1-2. Jannemann right now is 0.3 up on his time, which would put him just in front of Hussein if he can
with a
keep
purple
it up.
sector 2 as well. Both Kurz, who's about 3 or 4 seconds down ahead of him, and Rapid, who is invalidated. So Jannemann is getting the next one up the line, coming very quickly through turns 13 and 14, keeps it on the track as well. This one looks decent. It's a 109.962. He goes P2 by 1,000th over Hussein.
Yeah, that is very tight. I assume it's not gonna stand. As we said earlier, Track Evolution hits hard on this track, so we can expect some PBs coming through. Actually, Rapid here, purple sector 1, is already 1.5 tenths up off his PB again. He might get into the 108s if he keeps up this pace, but yeah, let's not get that far just yet. See how his delta is. 0.255 up. You can find 0.2 magically here in the last sector. Could still be a huge PB. I don't think he needs it. But yeah.
Impressive marker to set down a challenge, really, to the rest of the grid. Come on then, see what you've got. Come and beat that type deal as he comes up to the line. A 109.1.
Yeah, that's
wow.
Crazy. Yeah, it's just
nearly 8 tenths clear of Jannemann in P2 there.
Yeah, he's like really delivering a Verstappen performance here, I guess. Like, it's just qualifying pace-wise in a little bit of a different league, and then in the race, of course, so often it has not quite worked out for him. So yeah, very curious to see where he's gonna end up here in the end. Dylan has just started his lap. I think it's currently the only driver on a hot lap as well.
Yeah, it looks like Ed is about to begin one as well, and presumably Cherry after that, and Jimsky following on.
Honestly, Kurtz, I think, had improved for like half a second as well, so he's...
Oh yes, yeah, he's a 110.1. Yeah, right enough. Well spotted, I missed that one. Yeah, because he was a 110.6 initially, wasn't he?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
110.1.
just looked at like Dylan's time and I was like, wait, Kurtzer did have like 1:10.6, so yeah, super close there with the top guys apart from Rapid, of course, again, right? Like we have 2 to 4 within well, 0.02, and then we have like Jimsky and Kurtzer not far behind neither. Let's see if Dylan can improve here. It's looking decent, not the quickest through that last turn, but it was very nice and flowing, and he is
indeed.
right up in the mix.
Yeah, splits Jimsky and Kurtzer there with a 1:10.135. And it's going to be Cherry up to the line next, but he has invalidated there, so presumably Jimsky also invalidating. Next one was an AlphaTauri, if my memory serves me correctly, which I believe was possibly MQ.
Yeah, MQ is currently on a hot lap, I think. I'm just trying.
Yeah, it looks like it. Coming through the first DRS zone, and it turns 7 and 8, where we saw a lot of challenger drivers struggling. I can imagine that might be where a few of the elite drivers have been struggling with their invalidated laps. Keeps it on track, but it looked like he had a little bit of a slide and had to catch a snap there. So it may not be a particularly competitive time, but it's a time on the board, one that he is yet to have at all.
Yep, only the last turn. I think this is where he invalidated earlier as well. This time around he makes it. Not gonna be super quick, but a very nice time
all
there.
The ones.
Yeah.
That's satisfying to look at more than anything else. 1:11.111 for MQ. Finds himself P13. Not a lot of time left in the session, so that may have to do for him unless he's fueled up enough that he can throw it round this sort of in-lap, out-lap and go for one more push.
Who is going right now? A lot of guys going slow
Next
here,
to
actually.
the line may well be Lauda here.
Toru has just improved by more than a second to 11th here. Let's see, what else?
It's Lauda that's
Emils
coming up to the line
fast.
next.
Oh,
yeah.
Lauda, okay.
It's just behind Emils. Emils up to the line, no improvement for him. He must have been flying round to get ready for what could well be a push lap for him. Lauda, 1:10.5. P10 still no improvement for him.
Now let's see, Emils had a 0.4 advantage on his previous lap here. Let's see. And ultimately improves by 0.8, but not by a single position here. It's just behind MQ still. And I think Jimsky should be on a hot lap here again. 0.03 up on his previous time, which is, well, not enough to get him another position in this case, and he's lost a lot in this middle sector, but the slight improvement can already gain him so much here.
A lot of drivers on out laps at the moment are pushing round to that line just to get one more flying lap in, and I do think it'll be Jimsky, the last one over the line here. Everyone after that has to already be on a flying lap. The first one coming up is Siegel, I believe.
Yeah, he will improve big time here. He was 0.3 up after Sector 2 and got a nice toe. And yeah, he goes up to P2 for now. Let's see. Jannemann is currently slower. It's not looking good for him. What is Hussein doing? Hussein with a purple Sector 2.
It's not quick enough. That's a 1:13 for Emils, and he will start on the back row there. Kingsman, no improvement from him. And Alpine up the line there. It's Jannemann who does not improve either. As it stands, Rapid and Siegel 1-2. Hussein coming up the line. He's got 3/10 gained, and he will pip Siegel to that front row. Just a 10th or so in that one. A brilliant lap there from Hussein, but Rapid continues to remain undefeated in qualifying, as that will wrap us all up. There is your grid. Rapid pole sitter once more. Hussein joins him on the front row, just beating out Seagull and Yaneman in that second row. Those 4 drivers in the 109s.
Well. Cherry had a little improvement there in the very end, and I think Jimsky's the last car to still cross the line in a second. But
it's
yeah,
not an improvement, no.
No, he's just going home because taking the finish line is quicker than going to the pits for the entirety of the lobby. So yeah. Oof, that's that. I mean, Rapid complaining how his middle sector was slow, but being half a second ahead of everybody else is, yeah, something as well. Hussein in P2 just snatched it away from Seagull in the end. Yaneman could only manage to get P4 in the end, has thrown his last attempt away a little bit. And we have Jimsky and Dylan in the second Alpine looking good again. Last time around Alpines were looking amazing. I think they got 2 and 3. Kurtz in 7th, also decent, followed by Ed. Marcian in the top 10 and Lauda closing out that top 10 there in the end. That's going to be an interesting race here. I mean, time trial, qualifying wise, everybody is relatively close together. And usually Rapid is closer in race pace than he is in qualifying pace.
Gotta manage those tires a little bit more and maybe not send it round every corner quite as hard as you would. You don't want to end up in a wall because it's not just a qualifying session over. Of course, it's the entire race. And Eric, interestingly enough, not setting a lap at all that session.
Yeah, I think he has joined again. I think I tossed him an invite, but yeah, we may see, I guess, whether he is in now or not. And well, we're having another exciting race start ahead of us. Drivers still taking their strategies as Jimsky has said. Conditions are set to be changing. So strategy could be very interesting, whether you go like with a hard tire start and try to drag it out until the rain arrives, or I don't know when the rain comes. We're just told that it will come at some point, most likely. So, very mixed tire sets here. So we go away. Rapid here has the advantage over Hussein with the mediums, and Seagull just getting the jump there on the soft tire is now side by side with Hussein already. Can he power through the outside? Does not quite look like it. He's staying in P3 for now. The Alpines have joined together in P4 and 5. Jimsky's down to P6. Ed has made up a position over Kurtze here. And apart from that, I think everybody stayed relatively in the same order. Jimsky now on the inside of Dylan gets his soft tire advantage and goes through to P5. But apart from that, yeah, minor positional changes, no big crashes, which is huge. And the pack got away nicely.
Not a good start for Kingsman, though, down 3 places and just about barely holds it together on the back of Emil coming out of turn 8. Oh, lots of smoke and lockups coming through that turn 10, but again keeps it relatively clean. That back end of the pack is near enough 4 wide, and someone does run off there. Can't quite tell who that was. Presumably Emil, who has all of a sudden lost nearly 2 seconds to the rest of the pack. And Rapid sets fast lap. Toru straight into the pits.
Yeah, there might have been contact further down. There was definitely contact between
he's
Hussein
missing
and
an end
Seagull.
plate, yeah. Contact between Emil and Toru, it must have been, because Toru's getting a front wing fitted, as is Emil. Not a good start for those two.
Yeah. Further up here, Rapid is having the time of his life, of course, getting a little bit of a chance to break away from Hussein here, as Hussein's driving on these hards, of course. Seagull can't quite make it past just now. And everybody else can't do neither. Feels very bunched up until there's a little bit of a gap to Ed. But apart from that, Everybody seems to be at least able to go Hussein's pace here. DRS of
Jimsky sandwiched by those Alpines there as well. And as you were about to say, before I rudely interrupt you there, DRS will be enabled as they cross the line.
Yep,
for
going
lap number
so
3.
quick on this track here. I mean, we have 35 laps, it's like... So, I think 71 overall. Longest is either Austria or Monaco. I think they have like 78-ish or something. So, this like one of the shortest tracks on the calendar. Also very full speed, so these laps pass by so quickly. Yeah, DRS of course will open up some opportunities, especially for Seagull here, because I think Hussein still barely stayed in the DRS window. But he's gonna struggle to do so now that he is on the very edge. One tiny mistake and he's not gonna have that extra speed on the next straight.
Not only a mistake, but you know, starting on the hard tires, Rapid on the medium, Seagull on the soft. It's not the ideal matchup at this stage of the race, but 35 laps to go. Strategy, obviously, it becomes a little bit easier to tell how things get shape up as the race itself goes on. Kurtza past Ed there. Marcel Jan gets ahead of Lauda, both just getting the benefits off of that long casino straight in the DRS zone, and we'll get to DRS again through this opening straight. This will help them complete their moves as MQ makes a move late on Cherry there into turn 1. He's got the grip on those soft tyres down the inside. Cherry not giving up the position as they move towards turns 3 and 4. There's a little bit of contact between the two, and Cherry loses grip and ultimately loses out to MQ there.
Yeah, fair move, I think, by MQ. He did leave about as much space as you can do there. It's not that easy to go through there side by side. Jimsky already with the first corner cut time penalty, so these are certainly going to fly around here as well. Jimsky, I think, classically not really one of the drivers who pick up a lot of corner cut penalties, but yeah, we've seen it in Challenger. There have been like 9 seconds on some of these drivers here. We even drive like 10 extra laps compared to the 25 we've just seen for Challenger. So it's gonna be even more penalties flying around. So yeah, really curious to see where we're going here.
A little bit of a snap there for MQ. He did make it past Lauda with the DRS and has closed up to Marcel Jan here as well, so maybe I'll get the benefits of it. It was the quickest sector 3 of the race so far from MQ on those soft tyres, as the Alpha Tauris are looking to make up a little bit of time in the early stages of this lap. And you know, a little bit of gaps forming, and some DRS will allow drivers to close up, and no one immediately looking for any sort of overtake, as the grid's kind of settled in the first few laps here.
Oh, Lauda made some sort of mistake, slowed down a lot there in that chicane, and thus let Cherry past now. Further up, I think Rapid is now in the clear, has 1.1 seconds of an advantage, even by the end of the straight, so he's certainly going to drive away for more than that 1 second mark as soon as we get to turns again.
No more DRS for Hussein, and barely clinging on to the back, but as you say, by the time we get to this next DRS detection zone, you'd be highly surprised if Rapid wasn't second clear. He's already building that gap now, and you'd imagine, you know, knowing Rapid will continue to do so. He's again arguably the fastest driver in Elite, and we would expect him to generally have more points, but we touched it in qualifying. He's had some unfortunate incidents in previous weeks and has found himself dropping down the grid at times as a result of those. So being P1 early on and now building a gap should, you'd imagine, keep him out of trouble.
Yeah, for sure. Really curious about the strategy. Well, we know it's raining at some point. A couple of guys have opted for hard, so I think it's like not that early into the race. But do the medium runners just think they're gonna make an extra pit stop, for example, and then take it from there? Or do they actually expect that they can make it all the way there? What is with the soft runners? Probably hoping for an early safety car so they can get another pit stop in. But at the same time, I mean, Seagull doesn't really seem to gain anything from his tire advantage. He's just now, after 7 laps, gotten past Hussein and can chase after Rapid again. But yeah, soft tires, not insane pace-wise. Jimsky's even like dropping
You're asking
far down.
to absolutely, and you're asking Siegel to burn through those soft tires even harder just to keep pace with Rapid, and he's still losing time to Rapid. He's got past Hussein, he's got 4 tenths on him, but in that time has similarly lost another 4 tenths to Rapid as well, who was about 1.5 clear and is now nearly 2 seconds clear of Siegel. So those soft tires really not doing maybe as much as Siegel would have liked. Dylan right on the back of Jimsky and has made it through with the DRS on those medium tires. And it's just like you said there, Doom. Soft tires not quite cutting it the way they would have liked.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. Like both Hussein and Yaneman just seemingly can just chill behind Seagull easily. Just about not getting time penalties here, as Lauda has gotten himself one for speeding the pit lane.
And 2 picked up earlier by Kurtza and Emil's for track limits. Practically synchronized as Emil was coming through 7 and 8, and Kurtza was coming through 13 and 14.
Hussein was looking like he was going to make a move on Seagull again. Was just checking on Lauda real quick whether he was going in for just the tire change, because that would indicate that the softs are about the end of their lifetime at this point, but he also got a new front wing, so at least I think Seagull can hope for some more laps to have his tires in decent condition.
Hussein's still hot on the tail of Seagull, regardless of those hard tyres, which you have to imagine are soon going to be faring better. And Hussein should get through here. DRS with the rear wing open, gets past Seagull. Seagull has to slot him behind, not allow Yaneman through too. So that soft tyre gamble from Seagull definitely not paying off now, as all that's done is lost Hussein about a second and a bit to Rapid instead. But Rapid must have made some sort of mistake there, because that's 5 tenths lost in what was an instant.
Yeah, pretty much. Might have run deep or cut like the track a little bit and had to catch the car. Half a second is easily lost, especially with all these quick turns. Like if you lose your car and you're not getting the instant speed on the exit that you really need to get good speed going for the upcoming straight, then yeah, half a second is lost quite quickly. Over
One
here,
driver I didn't notice was the MQ is also pit. He must have been on softs as well. He's now on the mediums. I don't remember him having any sort of incident to, have him on a front wing. If he had a front wing, you'd imagine he'd be a little bit further back and closer to Toru instead. So one of the first ones maybe to just pit off the back of a tyre change is Seagull nearly losing out to Yaneman. The two are side by side. He just about keeps his nose in front going into turn 3, but it looked hairy for him round that second turn.
yeah. I do think, like, looking at the race distance, 10 laps is probably what soft tire is about. I assume you can go like 15 on mediums and like 20 on the hards, maybe, if you really max it out. Yeah, I would have expected about 10 from the softs, so we'll see whether Jimsky and Seagull are following soon, the last 2 runners who started on softs. and have not gone for a pit stop for whatever reason yet. And yeah, as Seagull has lost like 1.5 seconds here to Hussein and is now being overtaken by Jannemann, I'm quite certain. Yeah, he's gonna dive into the pits here. Let's see Jimsky follow. Yep, Jimsky is following as well, so... yeah, lap 10 is apparently where it's at for our soft runners.
Yeah, no more soft runners as it stands, as Jannemann, who I think if Seagull hadn't pit anyway, he'd absolutely had to clear him regardless, because losing time to Hussein becoming a little bit detrimental as a gap has opened up in the top four here now. None of them getting DRS through this section. So all about race pace here. Jannemann has just about closed up. Another penalty for Emil. That'll be him on 6 seconds now for track limits. And this time, Jannemann will get the benefits of the DRS coming into sector 3. He's done the job. He's managed to close up to Hussein while on those medium tyres. And Dylan just a little bit of clear air there, 1.6 behind his teammate, but a full 6 seconds clear of Ed. So just something a little bit comfortable here for Dylan with the rain sometime down the line on the way.
Yeah, for sure. I think the mediums at this point might still be better than the hards, and I don't know, either Hussein made some sort of mistake or Jannemann has just got crazy race pace here. Because the way he just, like, closed that 1 second gap in half a lap was kind of, yeah, scary from Hussein's POV, I guess. And given that Rapid is still extending his lead, I'd assume that the mediums at this point are working quite well. So, yeah, curious to see whether Jannemann can make it past Hussein's as well. Or, yeah, whether he's just gonna stay there like that now. Also, interesting thing I'm just seeing now. Somehow, Jimsky has landed ahead of Kingsman, and Seagull has landed behind, despite Seagull pitting
Earlier.
Yeah, he was ahead of Jimsky before the pit stop.
I mean, it screams slow pit stop. I can't imagine that Seagull had any sort of damage to his front wing. We didn't see any incidents in that regard. As Jimsky now maybe looking to push past Cherrier, because Jimsky with that penalty needs to do some significant driving to get himself back in a decent amount of points. He does get past Cherry with the benefits of the DRS. He will get it after coming past turns 13 and 14, just to increase that gap a little bit for himself. But still, Jannemann just about the only other one with a real chance to pass, and Seagull does clear Kingsman in the end as well.
Even without DRS, he was far away, or like a second away at the detection point, and then gained the entire second plus the position on Kingsman in just the hairpin and the final chicane there. So, yeah, Seagull really on blistering pace right now, and has cleared Kingsman relatively quick, but of course, already, like, he must have had a front wing change. I can't really explain how else he has lost, like, 5 seconds almost on Jimsky.
Yeah, it's a really strange one, to be honest, but I'm sure we'll find out some way somehow. And again, it's just about the only one that's really pushing for anything is Jannemann, still chasing Hussein 2 laps later. Kurt's the only other one in any sort of DRS range on Ed, but Kurt's now carrying 6 seconds worth of time penalties. So when he eventually does pit, it's going to be a long old stop for himself, as MQ picks up a track limits warning coming out of turns 13 and 14 there as well.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if Jannemann wants to overtake right now, or if he's just preserving tires as good as he can. And preserving ERS for sure, because he has gained about, I think at this point, 20% from where he has closed up to Hussein for the first time. So He's definitely chilling a little bit. And I don't know if the mediums are still that good at this point, honestly, as well. Might just be that his tires don't allow him to push harder.
May well be that. It just seems, yeah, as you say, because he's keeping himself just within the DRS range by the time it comes towards the end of Sector 2. And then just by the time you turn onto the straight and the DRS begins, he's about a second behind and just seems to close up just enough. And it does seem like a managing sort of strategy here for Yanman, which isn't the worst thing in the world. He looks set to gain some very, very good points. And the top three runners make up 2, 3, and 4 in that exact order in the standings. So it keeps them all sort of in that battling area as well, and it's big points for them as well, especially considering where I'd say Gym Scheme P5 is at the moment. Janneman would stand to gain a decent amount in the driver's standings.
Yeah, I mean, we cannot forget, of course, that both Jimsky and Seagull have the advantage of already having pit. So if all of them can make it to the rain, which is not looking like it's coming soon here, it's still very sunny. Just briefly gone on one of the driver's POVs. You don't really see like any big clouds or anything, so it's not really looking like we're gonna have rain in the next like 5 to 10 laps. So that means this all of the medium drivers certainly will have to pit beforehand as well. I'm not even sure if it's worth to extend your stint that long if you're on the hards. Ooh, Hussein just got a time penalty there. Could be big for him as he's the only one in the current top 4 with a penalty on board. But yeah, like I wonder where everybody ends up as soon as they pit for new tires, especially the medium runners.
And what they will then move to after that as well might give us a bit more of an indication as to when the rain is coming down. We may see another set of mediums because obviously the inters would make up the second compound, or whether they move to hards, and that may then give us an idea that the rain's actually a little bit further out, or if they move to the soft sand and it's coming sooner than we think. It's really coming down to that crunch time as we move into lap number 17. Nearly halfway through this race in Canada, and things have really quite settled. We've got a lot of gaps throughout the field as someone's come off there. It looks like Kurtzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just under pressure from Jimsky and Ed there at the time. No, again, no real indication if it was just a mistake or if there was contact.
No, it was on stream. He did get squeezed a little bit, I think, by Ed going side by side through there, and then took the proper re-entry route, which is like slowing down, going right next to the wall. Like, I don't know, there's like some little pin or something that you have to drive around when you cut, usually. So yeah, he cut the chicane and then took the re-entry route, the proper one, and he lost like 2.5 seconds from there. He even lost the position to to Seagull, and is now under attack by Marcion.
Yeah, it's the only real battle we're seeing at the moment, because again, Janneman just sort of managing it, keeping the tires in a good condition, storing the ERS and only really using that when he needs to, and just making the most of the DRS to build a gap to his teammate in Dylan and ultimately the rest of the grid, which, as this carries on, is going to be beneficial come pit window. Ed into the pits.
Yep, and so is Kurtzer. Interesting for us, I guess, to see that they're both hard runners. But I assume you just want to drive the mediums for as long as you can, given that we're halfway through the race, as you said, and people are still driving on mediums. These guys are fine to go to the end, most likely. So, yeah, probably just schedule pit stops right when they wanted them, and also both of them released into relatively free air for now, so good timing for them.
Just gives them that little bit to build up the speed of their tires, you know, just get a quick feel of the track and charge that ERS as well
Also
when
interesting
a
thing,
battle does come.
Jimsky and Seagull are already super close to the top guys, given they already pitted again. And even if they have to pit again, I think it's probably almost worth it, what they've been doing. If they go for another medium stint and gain like a similar amount of time, they just straight up won with their strat, like even though it's like one additional pit stop here. Because Rapid is gonna fall behind them for sure. And Rapid was far gone initially, right? So
Yes.
the undercut, or like the huge undercut they've done here, most likely worked in their favor. Oh, Lauda
Penalties
retired.
filing in. Oh, yeah,
Oh my
safety
god.
car as well. That's an interesting time for that to come about. Emil and Eric. Eric stays out. In fact, he's only got 5 lap mediums, but this again really opens a dialogue as to what will be next for these drivers. Emil goes on to mediums again, so
I
still
mean,
got a decent amount of time before the rain comes
yeah.
down.
This is now huge for the top runners who haven't pitted. Like, just about when I...
Oh,
Oh!
rapid!
Yikes. Speeding on the safety car, maybe like stretching the delta a little bit too much before getting into the pits. And yeah, that is a proper
Soft tires.
yikes moment. Yeah,
Interesting.
apparently everybody's thinking that they can either make it to the end or that rain is coming so soon.
Jimsky's pit again.
Yeah, that's the smart way to
Seagull.
do it. I think Seagull and Jimsky both, yeah, should get new mediums here, as it was probably planned by their strategy anyways. Maybe a little bit later. And they won't lose many positions for that one either. Also, interesting thing for sure, Lauda did not just DNF in pits or like try to DNF or something. I think he spun out after the final chicane and landed in the pit wall. So, yeah, that's probably what caused the safety car.
Yeah, so everyone has now pit. The oldest tires on track now are Eric's 6 lap old mediums.
Not for long, he's pitting as well.
Oh,
And
interesting. He
then,
didn't
yeah,
take
it's
the
pretty
chance
much
earlier.
like Kurtzer and Ed, of
Hard.
course, lost a lot then there by pitting these 2 laps earlier. It's unfortunate for them, but actually they're still sort of where they were anyways.
Yeah, it has seemed to, in some ways, work out for them. Eric, the only hard tire runner now, so he's not predicting rain for a while yet. Rapid, Yaneman, and Dylan going for something different here, but I think Rapid is going to want to make up some time before the rain does come in, because he does still have to serve that drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Whereas Yaneman and Dylan see an opportunity here, you would think, with the 2 cars in front of them having penalties, Jimsky also having one behind them, and just about everyone else behind them as well, having slower tires.
Yeah.
Less grip, naturally, as we all know, mediums lasting longer, but again, how much longer till that rain? The Alpines have taken a gamble here, they've gone with the softs. They've got to send it here in some way if they want to get, if they want to try and maximize the points available.
I mean, I guess they were on the mediums, so their options are like soft and hard, and I would rather risk it as well. I think with the soft tire they can probably take this another 2 laps after behind the safety car here, and then it's probably salvageable to the end if they have to, but they will also probably likely want to finish it. So yeah.
Presume the rest of the pack will now catch up this lap. Just waiting on Toru, Emils, and Eric on this one. Safety car in this lap. That is truly interesting. I thought we were going to get one more lap. So Toru Emils and Eric not going to quite get the benefit of catching up to the pack. Rapid just waiting to send us on his way and will do so. He's got time to make up with that drive-through penalty.
Yeah, he's likely
And
gonna dive into the pits immediately. Probably like the best way to do it. It's no real point in stalling it out further. But yeah, pretty eventless restart, I guess, because the notice came so late. But yeah, nothing changed position-wise because there was literally no point where anybody could have jumped on anybody.
so you got the closest to making a pass here on Jimsky, just hanging on to the back of him, but unable to do any real damage until we get the return of the DRS in 2 laps time. Coming around that hairpin, and it all seems relatively clean. Ed looking for a move down the inside of Seagull, but opts to back out.
Let's see what Rapid does.
Positional changes.
Yanneman now
Ooh.
taking P2 and thus soon the lead as soon as Rapid goes into the pits. Ed, 3-second time penalty, not his first one I think. So that is not gonna help him neither. Some lockups here by Yanneman and Hussein.
Rapid really going for it, setting down a 1:11.5 in the fastest lap of the race so far, but seeing Yanneman in his rear view mirrors is not exactly a pretty sight for the Brit.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
Yanneman, he's not quite there, but if he can keep, a decent pace to Rapid and not allow him too far ahead, then he will reap the rewards of that drive-through penalty that Rapid has earned himself.
Rapid is probably gonna be at the end of the entire field regardless, because it's so bunched up because of the safety car now.
Yeah, just Eric likely to not gain the benefits from it, but even then, it's a long old pit lane. It'll still cost him a good 15 to 20 seconds, even if he is just driving through it. So you may well be right. Back at the pack. Oh,
Yes.
and time penalty as well there for him. It's all falling apart for Rapid. So DRS now enabled. Doesn't opt to take the drive through on this one, and he must be starting to run out of time to do so. He'll know in his head what lap he's got to do it by.
I think
But
it
he's
says
not built the gap that he's wanted to and picked up that time penalty along the way.
I think it says at the start of each lap, and it should be by the end of this lap when he needs to take it. It's 3 laps usually, and coincidentally DRS activates after 3 laps again. We have DRS activated for this lap, so he really should be diving in at the end of this one.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's close enough, but it's not at the detection point, but has closed up to a DRS type range. Hussein should have his rear wing open and does. Dylan also on Jimsky, so Jimsky pulling away from Seagull. And then it's all sort of backed up behind Marcel Jan as well. Finally, Rapid comes into the pit for his drive-through penalty. That leaves Yanneman as race leader on lap 25.
Yep, and he was briefly even that extra gap away from Hussein here, more than a second. But yeah, after all, well, I think Rapid just pretty much lost the distance of the entirety of the field here. If I remember correctly, Montreal don't even loses you so much time because you have to slow down a lot by the start and end of the pit straight as well on your usual way. So like you only lose like 13-14 seconds if you drive through it without pitting, and well, about like 17 I guess when you're actually pitting. Hussein has gotten back to Yanneman's rear here.
Felt a bit of a gap to Dylan as well, so no DRS for Dylan, no help for Janneman. It's all going to have to be his own defense. Gets away with the first one, but Hussein's rear wing will open again, and he looks to take the lead. It's a clean enough pass before turn number 1. Hussein now leads just a lap later after Rapid goes for his drive-through penalty, and Janneman took the lead off the back of that. He's lost it again, and Hussein looks to push away. Now Janneman has to stick to the back. He'll get DRS here through that detection zone as we come through onto this shorter straight ahead of turns 7 and 8. Rear wing will open. He'll close up once more. Jimsky looks like he's just lost the back of Dylan as well, so Seagull's got to close up on him.
Further back, I think there might be a little bit of a fight coming, or at least there's like some big train behind Cherry.
Cherry, I think it is, yeah.
And not sure what exactly is going on there. A lot of lockups here. Rapid also seen making it past Emil's into the hairpin.
Will have got DRS as well before passing Emil, and should then see himself close up to Toru through the next 2 straights. Counts another time penalty for track limits. I would imagine, yeah, Rapid's just starting to slowly make his way up through the field. Cherry with track limits now as well, and Rapid right onto the back of Toru, but he seems to have towed Emil along them just a little bit. And the 2 Ferraris appear to swap now that Cherry's got that penalty.
Yeah, Marcellian being let loose into P7, and well, Rapid is gonna have a whole DRS train to work himself through here. Let's see if he can take the first one. Toru Rapid has been quite the battle last week around. Has ended in contact multiple times. Let's see if it ends better here. Going side by side already. Looking for the inside up on the hairpin.
Oh, contact between Kingsman and MQ, and that results in contact for Rapid as well as he drops back behind Emil, and Toru gets away there. He was there for the taking, but it got messy in front. And this is what we mean with Rapid.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay.
It's all gone
it's
wrong.
Safety car even. Oh my god. Janneman has also just picked up a time penalty for himself. Oh, okay. Yeah, well. Rapid retired in the pits. Yeah, understandably so, I guess. But
that's frustration at minimum. I think obviously the contact that he has at turn 10 is in no way, shape or form his fault, and then it all seems to go wrong as he's approaching turn 13, spins, loses the front wing, and has ultimately seen enough.
Yep, it is. Yeah, ultimately not gone well for him today. I mean, I guess the drive-through that he collected earlier for speeding under safety cars on his own fault. But yeah, also saying the AlphaTauri crashes in the pits is literally not true. He crashed after the chicane on the start-finish straight. So yeah, I don't know. Janneman's staying out. Probably the safety car is benefiting the soft runners as well. Their tires will likely not enjoy their life at this point. But yeah, we're gonna see. There's a couple of pitters, which is Ed, for example, Kurtz's. Actually, all of these longer or like mid-stint medium runners here taking soft tires makes sense. They're not losing many positions neither. So it's really just a free pit stop on a fresher tire.
Some of them just biding their time. Really beginning to wonder if this rain's ever actually going to come down. We've only got 6 laps left, and we're going to have even less actual racing laps. And as we said, a lot of the everyone who's pit has come out on soft tires, so Getting to wonder, you know, Yaneman and Dylan, their gamble with the soft tires hasn't quite paid off in the end as a result. They'll definitely be there for the taking, but the medium runners may begin to struggle towards the end as the softs will be coming into the peak.
Yeah, we're gonna see another lap of safety car here. Yeah, I'm really curious about that predicted rain. It's like 5 more laps, so I don't know. Let me hop on some POV. Yeah, it's still very, very. Oh no! Oh, Hussein disconnected. Hussein AI is making stupid decisions. Oh my god! And then he's joining right to see the disaster. Oh, that's so painful. I mean, it has happened to others in the past, but yikes. Gonna get out on new softs, but he's gonna be dead last. This is like, yeah, unfortunate. Ah well. Dude, I don't know. I low-key wish. I don't wish that it is in the Twitch chat, but I'm like reading Rapid rambling in the Discord on the other screen, and it's
Yeah, referring to the
kinda
first
funny.
safety car where we lost Lauda.
Yeah.
Rapid seems to believe that it was just him going into the pit lane and not that he lost control on turn 13, quite similar to what Rapid has just done and hit a wall. It's entirely possible that Lauda has done that. We didn't have the camera on him, and unless Rapid was directly behind him, again, we won't know. Safety car is coming in, so we are about to have 5 racing laps remaining, and still no signs of rain, which is genuinely surprising. Yaneman currently leads on softs, Jimsky behind him on mediums, both of those two carrying penalties, so as it stands, it would be Dylan to take the top 7. Seagull, again, finds himself in a very, very good position.
Yeah.
Keeps it clean, is smart with strategy, makes his own luck, and may well find himself on the podium again.
Well. Let's see what Yaneman is doing. I think he's gonna have a tough task ahead of himself. These softs are likely not as good as the mediums at this point of time. So he's gonna have to defend very, very well and hope that his teammate is keeping Seagull behind for long enough so that he doesn't lose the position. He's going now. Did not really get the jump on Jimsky, honestly. He did not really get the jump on anybody. Everybody's just lining up and following through very nicely. And yeah, here we are. Yaneman still in the lead. No positional changes on the restart at all. There's a little battle for P7 here. Ed has claimed his first victim on his fresh tires. He's now going to be approaching...
Going for a move on Jimsky as well. Ooh, very close to contact there. May have just brushed wheels, but ultimately has to back out. And Seagull will be looking at that one as well and thinking, I've got a chance here.
Yeah, also Yaneman is now a second away from Dylan, of course. That little move got a lot of time over to... oh my god, and Seagull with an absolute dive there into that hairpin. Probably maybe with a little bit of contact even. Not quite sure if that's the fairest of all overtakes, but I guess it's gonna be standard for now. Let's see. Ed is really closing in. He's already in P5. He has the time penalty, of course. So he's gonna have to win it on track with a little bit of a lead even to take P1. But
he is, yeah, he's making moves. Oh, contact between himself and Dylan there. They both sort of slide, and he does keep it clean, but Marcel Jan benefits and moves all over. Now that we are seeing on the grid, Kingsman ahead of Cherry. I think Kerr's moved up the grid as well. Hussein's still got a lot of work to do considering where he was and whether, you know, that's if he's back or if that's still the AI. I honestly couldn't tell you. Ed back ahead of Marcel Jan. This is it's getting aggressive with just a few laps to go. A lot of time penalties out there as well. So Seagull again could end up on the top step.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna have to fight Ed soon, and Ed does have that time penalty. This could be like the one thing that keeps Jannemann his victory, but well, if he can even like make it through to the end, because Jimsky of course is gonna be all over him as soon as DRS is activated, which is now. Next lap, I think Jannemann's done for, as the softs just should not cut it at this point. And you can really see how much he's struggling compared to the older medium runners even. Like in this turn 1, he has lost almost a second to Seagull overall. Seagull now going through Jimsky. I think Jimsky's not really defending that much because he knows Seagull is going to be ahead by the virtue of not having a time penalty regardless. And well, for now, Jannemann remains in front. But honestly, I would love to know how many warnings Seagull has, how close he is to a corner cut time penalty himself. Oh, Hussein is also making his way up there. Holy moly, he's up to 6th
strides.
already.
It's those soft tires. It's the new ones. I think the old soft tire runners are struggling. A couple of the mediums as well. If they've not got the pace it normally puts them at the top end anyway. It, you know, some of the drivers he is passing, it's not exactly the fastest qualifiers or anything like that. But you know, Marcel Jan is still kind of struggled up against Ed. Seagull still hot on the tail of Jannemann with just a 2 racing laps to go, and this is how Australia ended really. Jannemann in the lead, but with a time penalty, and Seagull chasing him for it. Jimsky right behind him, and Marcel Jan keeps a decent pace. You know, he finds himself P2, P3.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Seagull about to rob Jannemann again, I guess. Taking another win here by the virtue of time penalties. But it's still 2 more laps, I guess. Everything can happen. I wonder if he can even claim
makes
it.
Another move.
Yeah. It's ahead of Marcian now. Kurtz is just behind Marcian as well. Certainly able
Jimsky and Ed swing out.
Let's see. Side by side here, but Ed backs out. Good choice by him. Last turn, really dangerous if you drive it side by side. Let's see what's going on here. Seagull for the lead, is taking it on track. Jimsky so close to Jannemann's rear here. He's really trying to keep it on track there, but I think the softs at this point really horrible. Dylan is all the way down to 9th. Jannemann still at least can salvage P2 as it looks. But we may see Ed and Jimsky are probably going to be all over the Alpine driver here. He's getting DRS at least now, so he can defend himself a little bit.
Oh, there it is.
Oh no, but the thing is,
I mean, he leads though. He
now.
leads.
Yeah. Oh,
and it's only 3 seconds, but it's all of a sudden not so comfortable for Seagull with 2 DRS straights to go. Final lap here in Canada. Can he hold it? Will Jannemann fight back? Or Ed and Hussein going to have something to say about this? He's ahead of Jannemann into these last 2 corners. Comes round through the wall of champions.
Oh, and Jannemann in the wall.
Jannemann's hit a wall. It's all gone wrong for him, and Seagull has come away with his 4th win.
Marcian wins! Marcian wins the race. Marcian gained 7 positions by the virtue of time penalty. Everybody had a time penalty. What is going on?
No. Oh, and Seagull's just said in chat, sorry for contact.
Oh my lord.
Marcel Jan has just won from P7.
This could have been the Jannemann maiden win, but it is actually Marcian unwashing himself. What the hell is going on? He did just come through from P7 or P8. Everybody had 3 seconds there. And then it's just... Oh boy. The Ferrari driver back on the podium, on the top step of the podium. And I think if I see that right, that's with Seagull and Ed. Oh yeah, Ed was just behind that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, holy moly. What a
Two
finish.
very differing ends to the races.
Bro, I thought the
Challenger Elite, but both incredibly exciting turns of events. Janneman finishes P6, Dylan P7, but Marcel Jan, out of absolutely nothing there,
to be honest,
has come across the line.
I thought the lobby was bugging out because like all of a sudden all of the top 10 position changed because literally everybody lost a position, I guess. So yeah, it's crazy actually because everybody was so close together. Seagull just narrowly missing the race win there. I mean, to be fair, as did Janneman until the last turn, where you admittedly got ascended.
10th there,
Yeah.
a 10th of a second.
Holy moly.
Marcel Jan claims that over Seagull.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's honestly crazy. But
Everyone, he's getting atted a lot in the Elite General chat. No response. Yeah, I can't imagine he's even sat at his.
He's probably just
PC.
screaming right now. Yeah. Oh yeah, but hey, Marcel Jan GOAT after all. We've been saying it the entire time, but holy moly, well done to Marcel Jan here, keeping it clean where everybody was picking up time penalties, and then, well, he's just been in that crucial position, so close. And wow, what a finish, honestly. I mean, as much as I'm coping for Janneman win every single week, we're still getting exciting finishes. So yeah. Really happy for the guy to finally have gotten the next win.
What an incredible turn of events that was.
Crazy, really crazy. But yeah, well, with that, honestly, is there a better finish for the Formula Sundays here? It's been a little bit chaotic throughout the races and of course throughout the season, as you know it. But yeah, a banging conclusion to this year's Formula Sundays shenanigans. We're gonna go into the winter break. 2 weeks of no Formula Sundays for Christmas and New Year's. And then in the new year, we're gonna be back with some more racing actions. Well, I think there's not much more to say from the two of us, other than, yeah. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for driving. Thank you for joining me in the casting booth as well. And yeah, from the two of us, we can just say, well, enjoy your Christmas holidays. And yeah, see you next year. And it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions.